Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we play more Doki Doki Literature Club? So I did decide I wanted to play some more, and something that I wanted to show you too, because I realized this like just after I quit recording the last time, was if you look here at the folder and the characters, so there was the happy thoughts and we read the trace back, but if you look characters folder, there's no longer Sayori. Sayori's file isn't there, so yeah, I thought that was interesting. Just thought I'd share that with you. Honestly though, I started this, and just seeing this screen, everything sounds happy and fine, but you see this screen and like, Sayori, I'm sorry, It was sad, but I have no idea what this means, but I want to see what will happen if I want to see if saying I love you will actually, stop Sayori from killing herself, it's not that I regret my decision, but I felt like that was the safer bet, was to say I love you, but I didn't feel that that was really necessarily fair to either the main character or to Sayori, so I want to see what'll happen if I actually just go back. Okay. I guess here goes. I love you. Huh? Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you were truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens, as long as we can continue like this every day, with you by my side. Then I know we'll both be happy. Riz. Aw, see, I didn't get a special picture. Oh, that's what I look like, apparently. Cool. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Riz, is this really okay? Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be more. It sounds awkward like that. I hold Sayori in my arms and pull her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Riz. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I also love me. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. Oh no, what's wrong? What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. Uh-oh. But why? Even now? Why won't the rain clouds go away? Aww, poor girl. They're not going away at all, Riz. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay, I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? I guess. What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, I want everything to be the same as it always has been. Even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. Fair enough, we'll take it slow. That's fine. It's really new and scary to me. That's fine, we'll take it slow. Absolutely. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. There we go, see? Yeah, there we go. Hey, Riz. Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling softly. Sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Huh? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It feels like a bunch of thorns when you told me it felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to feel. Or to hear after you, confess something like that. But that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her, and she loves me. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know. But I know that I'll give it everything I've got. Saori is the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. Okay, I mean, so far, it's mostly the same, honestly. I mean, because she ended up sad when she went away, and, like, the whole... I keep wondering if there was something else I should be doing, if there's something more, you know, like, there's that whole thing again. I feel like the biggest difference so far is the special picture, which makes me think that this was the right choice of the two. Like, I still don't think there should have been a right choice, you know, but whatever. I mean, maybe there's not. That's just how it seemed to come across. Anyway, it's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Saori. But Saori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. Okay, so it is like the same so far. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Saori and Yuri at the festival. I feel like it's kind of a dick thing though when like Natsuki is not included, or Monika for that matter. After knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. Time will tell. Riz, it's still so quiet. You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So, that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Saori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Saori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because that's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all? You should take a little responsibility for her, Riz. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. So she's still aware of the same thing. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Do you see that? It's such a dick thing. Left her hanging. That's such a dick thing, Monika. I mean, like, either she knows that like, could happen, or it's just a tragic mistake. Like, imagine, okay, just the thought, like, imagine saying something like that about someone, you know, and then learning that they did that. You'd be like, oh, okay, now what I said earlier sounds way worse than I had intended it, you know? Like, I'd feel so bad. Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But... I stammer, embarrassed. Did Saori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Huh? Monika is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason, I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. It's still so unnerving how quiet it is. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems for the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Saori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Okay, yeah, so the poem is the same. That does not make me feel too hopeful about this. I would think if you are well in your mind, why would you write that? Sorry, hold on. This is making me... Of course, this is when I swallow wrong. I'm okay. I mean, yeah, get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. And that line is just so much more unsettling now with the whole hanging bit. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Riz? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayoti's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monika calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. Okay. Well, what was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. I'm getting like all shaky. Waking her up in her own house? It really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter a room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. There's no thud. Sayori? Oh, okay. Alright. So. Okay, woof. Gosh, I just have that uncomfortable warmth still. Honestly, my muscles, like my shoulders hurt from being all tense. Oh geez, okay. Two things though. One, we did it, I guess. We picked the right option. Two, there's apparently a right option, so that's kinda dumb. I mean, I don't know. So I do think it's kinda cool how this game is like, it touches on those real problems like depression and suicide and stuff like that. And I still think that there might well be things like that for, you know, Yuri and Natsuki if you were to take their routes. But I guess this is Sayori's route, so it's focusing on her, you know? But it's... I don't like that one choice leads to, you know, her hanging herself, and the other one is just... I mean, I guess I don't know that she won't in the future still hang herself, but... I don't know, you know what I mean? Anyway.
Hi, Riz. I'm sorry for making you worry about me. That's why you're here, right?
There's no need to be sorry, Sayori. I'm here because I care about you.
I care about you too, Riz. And thanks for coming over.
I'm more than happy to, Sayori. Are you ready for the festival? I put on a grin in hopes of lightening the mood. I've been mentally prepping all night for you to drag me from booth to booth today. I think I'm ready now. I can't help but feel relieved upon hearing Sayori giggle, even if only a little bit.
I'm happy to hear that, Riz. Though,
Sayori hesitates, idly wringing the bottom of her shirt and rubbing her foot against the floor.
Monika actually made me promise that I'd spend the festival with her. Sorry.
I'm a little surprised, but I smile anyway. I guess Monika talked to her last night after all. Thank goodness someone did. Right? Idiot protagonist. Just leaving her in the morning, like, friggin'... Alright. Good. Cool. So that would explain how Monika knew, too, like what we talked about and all that. Yeah, of course. I bet you two will have lots of fun together. She looks at me again, still seeming uncertain.
So you're not upset?
I let out a chuckle, which seems to catch her by surprise. No, not at all. I mean, I would have happily spent the festival with you. But I'm just really glad you'll be there having fun with everyone. And we can always hang out another time, right? A soft smile returns to Sayori's face, her cheeks tinged with red. And then it's no problem at all. Get dressed, Sayori. You don't want to be late for your first date with Monika. Because I was saying that, like, that would be our first date. I hope I'm not being rude with that.
Well,
Sayori seems at a loss for words until I start laughing.
Riz, don't be mean.
I'm just playing with you, Sayori, don't worry. I'll be outside. Don't keep me waiting, alright?
I won't. I'll be out soon. And, Riz?
I perk up slightly at the dip in her tone. Yeah?
I know you didn't really mean it when you said everything yesterday.
What? No, of course I meant it. I really do love you, Sayori.
I know you love me, Riz. I just know that you don't love me like that.
I know, girl, I'm recording. I know.
You don't love me the way that I love you. And that's okay. I was thinking about it a lot, and Monica talked me through some things, and
Sayori takes a deep breath.
it wasn't fair for me to do that to you, I mean.
Well, I mean, that's true. If we're being realistic, she did kind of really put me on the spot with, like, a very heavy subject. But, Sayori... She softly giggles again, shaking her head. She walks closer and takes my hand.
This is what I want, Riz. What I've always had. I want you to keep being my friend.
She gives my hand a gentle squeeze.
So, please, don't try to change things. Maybe someday I'll want to try again. But for now, I just want things to be the way they were.
I thought I saw my microphone flashing, which would have meant it was muted. That would have sucked. I open my mouth to speak, not even knowing what I was going to say, but she leans in and gently kisses my cheek.
Go wait outside, Riz. I'll be there soon.
I stand there for a few seconds, then take a quiet breath before slowly letting it out. Alright. I love you, Sayori. What did she just say? What did she just say? Oh. Like a friend, then. Okay, that's kind of sweet, actually. She smiles a little more warmly.
I love you too, Riz.
We exchange little smiles, then I turn and leave the room, heading back outside to wait for her. Things didn't go the way I had expected, but frankly, I'm glad. Sayori seemed to be doing much better than she was yesterday. And if she wants me to just be her friend, then I'll be the best friend she's ever had. I promise that. Okay, maybe a little on the creepy side, but I assume he means well.
Hurry, Riz. It sounds like they might be starting.
I'm coming! I'm coming along.
Riz, Sayori, you made it just in time. We're just about done with preparations.
Yeah, just about. You're welcome.
What took you two so long?
Jeez. Sorry. Making us do all the work. Sorry, we just... I cast a glance at Sayori.
Don't be rude, Natsuki. I'm sure they had their reasons. Thank you for bringing the banner today, Riz. I think it turned out quite lovely.
Of course. Can't wait to see how you touched it up, Yuri.
Yeah, whatever. Since we set everything up, one of you should at least perform your poems first. After all, someone's got to make sure people get their cupcakes.
Sayori gasps.
Cupcakes? I want to help with the cupcakes. They're my cupcakes, so I'm in charge of them. But I guess I wouldn't mind a little help. Okay, everyone. I know this might seem daunting. It is our first time doing this after all, but we've all worked really hard. The club wouldn't be the same without you. Any of you. And I know that we can make it even better. Each of us brings something special to the experience, and I want to thank you all for being here. Now let's go show this school what the Literature Club is all about. Yay! Festival time!
Oh, did we not actually get to see it? That's lame. I was honestly looking forward to seeing the festival and, like, how they performed and everything. Anyway, maybe I hadn't been too excited about the festival, but it actually turned out to be a lot of fun. Natsuki tried pressuring me into performing first, but Monika took pity on me. Well, it was hard to feel like she hadn't set the bar, but all the same, it's the thought that counts. So I already talked to Monika while I took the stage. I think she asked if it was okay if she didn't read anything herself, because she never did take a turn performing. Though if you consider the poem that she had in the pamphlet, I don't really blame her, I guess, for not wanting to read that. Honestly, I'd been getting the feeling that something was off with Monika. And now I realize that she's been a much better friend to Sayori than I have recently. She took Sayori's turn instead. Yuri followed after me, and then Natsuki. No one else performed twice. Just Monika. After we'd all performed, we let other students come up to recite their own poems. Not many people did, but I was still surprised by how confident some people were. Or, in some cases, how brave. Then, with no one else volunteering, everyone started to relax a little more. People started talking or branching off to check out other clubs and their respective setups. Sayori, as expected, went with Monika. Oh, thought that was gonna continue. I considered approaching Yuri or Natsuki to see if they wanted to hang out, but Natsuki was busy chatting people up by her cupcakes. To be fair, she deserved to boast about them. As for Yuri, she must have already slipped out. Maybe she had the urge to make tea, or was just too shy to be with people. Regardless, I decided to just sit back and enjoy the atmosphere. In the end, the club had gotten some good attention, but more importantly, we all had fun. And who knows? Maybe now another cute girl or two will join the literature club. That's right, priorities. With the festival over, we all meet up again in the club room. It's a positive atmosphere all around.
We did it! We actually did it! You did amazing, Natsuki. Your poem was great and your cupcakes were the best. Well, I mean, yeah. What did you expect? My cupcakes to be bad? What? No, never. That's what I thought. I have to admit though, Yuri's atmosphere was...
Aw.
She did a really good job, that's all I'm saying. Me? Thank you, Natsuki. That's very kind of you to say.
Natsuki folds her arms, refusing to look at anyone.
We all did great. We worked really well as a team. Don't you think so, Riz?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, between those... Okay, so, like, the group bickers now and then, like, you know, they kind of fought over me for who would help them with the festival preparations. Like, you know, Natsuki wanted me to help her make cupcakes, and Yuri wanted help with the banner and all that. But all in all, I feel like they're good friends, they just have arguments sometimes. And beyond that, I think that if I were to say yes, it would just kind of encourage more positivity. You know, where like, if you're told that you work well as a team, I feel like you're going to be inclined to try to work better as a team. So I'm gonna say yeah. I nod enthusiastically. Yeah, for sure. It was great. I know we still have a lot to learn, but I'm proud to be part of this club. Ugh, I didn't get too sappy there, did I? Monika giggles.
I think we're all happy to hear that, Riz. We're proud to have you as a fellow member.
The other three nod in agreement. These girls, they sure are something. I'm lucky Sayori talked me into joining. Even if nothing more works out, I know I can still count them as friends. Suddenly, the door opens. Hey, this is the right room for the literature club, right? Boy! It's boy! It's a boy! Monika's face. The girl seemed dumbfounded. For some reason. I smile and nod at the newcomer. Yep, this is the one. Are you just stopping by, or? The boy chuckles, shaking his head. No, I'm actually looking to join. I listened in on some of the poetry readings you had earlier. You guys were great. I wait for Monika to say something, but she seems...
Hi, welcome to the club. Just gonna ignore that. Welcome to the club. My name's Sayori, and that's Yuri, Monika, because I'm trying to be consistent, Natsuki, and Riz. She points at each of us in turn, bubbling with excitement. Well, the pleasure's mine. My name's Evan. Natsuki, quick! Fetch Evan a cupcake! Why do you always ruin the surprise?
Natsuki trudges over shortly afterward, holding out a cupcake on a napkin, not looking directly at Evan. Here. Thanks, Natsuki. These cupcakes are adorable. Almost as adorable as you. Oh, he's one of those guys. Okay, then. Natsuki freezes. Evan nervously chuckles, casting a glance at me. I smile a little sheepishly and shrug. Poor guy did this to himself. I feel like I might have overstepped my boundaries. I'm really sorry about that, Natsuki. I didn't mean anything bad by it.
It's fine. I get that like all the time. Definitely. Right, everyone?
You know, I can believe that. Natsuki seems immediately relieved, tipping her head as she stiffly walks away. A moment passes. Monika's still... Poor Monika. ... Soedi carefully leads her away. Alright. So, Yuri, right?
Oh, yes, that's me.
Riz! Hey! What are you into?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we...
Evan winces. Yeah, we are. We totally are. Talking, yes. What would you like to talk about, Yuri?
I'm not sure.
What have you been reading lately?
Oh,
Yuri perks up.
well, Riz and I recently started reading Portrait of Markov together. It's quite a fascinating story, actually. What about you, Evan?
Evan looks relieved. I can't blame him. Have you ever heard of Parfait Girls? Hey, we've heard about... Yeah! Natsuki immediately looks back to the two. She sidles a little closer.
Evan, you read Parfait Girls?
Hey, say what you will about it. That it's girly, that manga doesn't count. But I think it's great. I love Minori. Natsuki's face lights up. Grabbing Evan's arm, she starts to drag him away toward the closet. Come on, I've got something you're gonna want to see. Yeah, alright, sure. Evan casts a weak smile my way before submitting to his fate, walking just behind Natsuki, his wrist in her grasp. Well, she turned around pretty quickly. Okay. So, looks like we've got a new club member. How about that? I chuckle, and Yuri softly giggles in turn.
He seems nice. I hope that'll stay. I'd like to get to know him better.
From their interaction, I would have thought Yuri would be more nervous about the possibility. But I guess it's different when she's not talking directly to him. Still, does she always get that shy around new people? It's hard to remember, even though it hasn't been that long since I joined myself. Yeah, he seems pretty cool. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go check on Monika. She's been acting a little weird since he showed up.
She has? I didn't even notice.
I mean, it was pretty subtle, so I'm not surprised. I lie. It seemed to make her feel a little better, at least. I glanced back to see Sayori still with Monika. It sounds like they're talking, or at least Sayori is, but I can't make anything out from here. I'm just gonna make sure everything's alright. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Mm-hmm. And please let me know if anything's wrong.
Of course, Yuri. No problem. Yuri smiles a little before turning away, walking over to her desk. As she opens her backpack, I turn my attention back to the other side of the room. Things don't look like they're going great. I make my way over to the two.
And maybe after that, we could go get ice cream. Huh? How's that sound?
Hey,
Hi, Riz. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like she's got a fever.
Riz, yes.
Hi. Monika, are you okay? What's wrong?
Monika swallows hard.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry for making you worry. I'm having a bit of anxiety right now. I promise it's nothing to worry about. But I think I'm going to head home early today. Do you think you could handle things for me here, Sayori? Sure, Monika. I'll do my best. I'm just gonna walk her outside, okay, Riz? I'll be back soon.
I weakly smile and nod, and she returns it before leaving with Monika. Looking out over the room, everyone's still doing their own thing. Natsuki and Evan are sitting against the wall, talking and laughing with manga in their laps. Sorry, I had to spit. Yuri's sitting at a desk with a book, though I notice her glance at the two from time to time. It's almost like she's jealous.
Okay, everyone.
We all perk up at the familiar call, though Yuri and Natsuki seem surprised that it wasn't Monika. A nervous Sayori steps forward, all eyes on her.
So, if you couldn't tell, Monika isn't here. She started feeling a little sick, so she went home early.
With that out of the way, she takes a breath, starting to seem more confident.
But we're gonna end today right anyway. Evan, you're new, so I'll fill you in real quick. Recently, we started writing our own poems, like the ones you heard during the festival. Then, during the next club meeting, we get together with everyone one pair at a time and read them. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask someone. I'm sure they'd be happy to help. So yeah, remember to write your poems, everyone. Literature club dismissed.
As idle chatter returns to the room, Sayori gives a little nod before walking over to her things. She pulls out her phone and starts to text. I don't want to just leave her since we've been walking home together recently, so I figure I'll wait for her in the hallway. I'm kind of anxious to ask about Monika too. While I wait for Sayori, I decide to pull out my own phone. There isn't really anything new, but I guess it's just something to do. I feel that. I do that all the time. Like, no one really messages me all that often, but if I'm just waiting for class to begin or whatever, like, you just pull out your phone and kind of glance over things. I don't know. Maybe that's just me and I'm weird. Soon enough, though, the door opens. Hey, Riz! I was hoping you'd still be here. So, He pauses, then chuckles, shaking his head. Hey, be honest with me? I didn't act like a complete idiot, did I? Oh, good. Now I get to make my first impression. What? No! Maybe a little. Yes, a complete idiot. Idiot. Okay, so like initially I would think that the top one, like the held out what no, might be sarcastic, but it seems like the most positive of the three. And honestly, like I don't want to make him feel bad. So I'm gonna go with what no. I tense up a little. Whether or not he came off a little strong in the beginning, I've gotta be a bro. What? No, not at all. I mean, yeah, you caught Natsuki by surprise at first, but I think she found your honesty refreshing. He nervously chuckles. You think so? Totally. You even read manga with her the rest of the meeting, didn't you? Yeah, I guess that's true. She was acting like she never got to talk about her manga with anyone. What about Yuri? I can't help but chuckle a little, casting a glance at the door. Yuri's a really sweet girl. She's just a little shy, right? Hey, as long as she doesn't hate me, or think I hate her, I can work with that. Evan pauses, and I can tell he's considering what to say next, so I patiently wait. What about Monika? She didn't seem exactly thrilled to see me. And she's the club president, right? I hesitate. Okay, sorry. Something came back to me. We're good now. I think I've got it's... whatever. What could I really tell him? I don't know what's going on myself. I don't know, honestly. Have you two met before? He blinks in surprise, straightening up a little. No, never. First time I remember seeing any of you was during the festival. So unless we did meet before and I just forgot. Oh no. You don't think that's it, do you? Oh shoot, what if it is? I try to remember everyone. Aww, look at that sad puppy. Aww, crap. I quickly put on what I hope is a reassuring smile. No, I'm sure that's not it. She told me and Sayori she was just hit by anxiety. It happens, you know? I reach out and set a hand on his shoulder. I think she and Sayori are gonna hang out later. I'll ask Sayori to pass anything she learns on to me, and if it's important, I'll let you know. Sound good? Yeah, that sounds good. Sorry about this, Riz. I just don't like upsetting or disappointing people. I smile a little more, nodding. Yeah, I understand. You heading home soon? Yeah, pretty soon. Guess I should probably get back inside and help Natsuki clean up. She's probably handled the manga by now, but I can still help with the cupcakes. Cool, I won't keep you then. And good luck with your poem. Oh, right. How exactly does that work? I grin a little. Is this where I tell him, like, oh yeah, you just make a poem to seduce whomever you want to seduce? It looks like I'm not alone anymore. Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I have no idea what I'm doing. Everyone has their own style. You'll figure it out. Ha! Alright, sounds good. We'll see what I can come up with. I'll see you tomorrow then, Riz. See you, Evan. Evan returns to the door and pulls it open, almost running right into Sayori. I hear him offer a sheepish apology before stepping aside, letting her leave first. Then, he disappears into the clubroom.
I'm sorry for making you wait, Riz. You ready to go home?
I smile and nod. Yep, let's go. Side by side, Sayori and I leave the school and start making our way home. Cool beans, alright. I mean, Evan seems nice. I like him so far. I wonder if he's actually supposed to be like... Oh, that's a good question. Is he supposed to be like someone that I can woo? Or is he there to just introduce drama to the story because now it's a new guy who's gonna like hit on the girls too? I mean, he did already hit on Natsuki and he seemed to be pretty concerned with how everyone like saw him with his first impressions and all. Por qué no los dos? I don't know. The walk home isn't very eventful. I said Los Dos? It's Los Dos, right? Por qué no los dos? That always bothers me. And now I've said it out loud, so it's on camera forever. Anyway, Sayori and I idly chat, and she occasionally checks her phone. Eventually, I let out a quiet sigh. So, any idea what's going on with Monica? She sighs a little too.
Not really. Just anxiety. That's all she told me. She wasn't even talking before you came over.
Really? Sayori nods.
You talked to Evan, right? Did he say anything about it?
I talked to him, yeah, but he was asking me what was wrong. He said he's never met her before. He was actually really worried that he'd done something wrong by mistake.
Oh, I guess that's good at least. I don't want any of the club members to be upset with each other.
I know. So what are you gonna do?
Well, Monica was there for me when I really needed someone, so I'm gonna be there for her.
I take in a bit of a sharp breath. I'm sure she didn't mean it as a jab, but if she did, he deserved it though. He was a bit of a dick. Main character's dumb. He was dumb with that point, or with that moment, I guess. Hey, I know we already sort of talked about it yesterday, but
Riz, really, don't worry about it. I know that you care about me, and I know you feel bad about it. So I know you're gonna be even better from now on, right?
Though I can't help but sigh from how blunt that seems, I smirk a little too. Exactly. Let me know if you need anything, alright? Whether about Monica or just you. Promise?
I promise.
Alright, we're done, I guess. With that, the two of us continue on, idly chatting some more until going our separate ways. Now that time has come again. Who should I try to impress this time? Now we'll see. Now we'll see. Okay, look, yeah, Evan has a sticker. Evan has a sticker. I guess he's a potential date. You know what? Good for the game. Good for the game. Yeah, okay. Well, all I really know about him is that he's a playful puppy. That's how it seems. That's how he seems to me. I picture him as a puppy. So I guess like kind of Natsuki sorts of words? Like Natsuki or Sayori maybe? I don't know. Let's try. Okay. No. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it is kind of Natsuki or Sayori-esque, but I don't know what ones are like Natsuki or Sayori themselves. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's still guesswork, but we'll see. Okay, now that he's an option, yeah, I want to see more about him. I want to see, I mean, I hope this doesn't ruin the Sayori route, but I'm curious, because it's weird to have a character come in late, for me. I don't know. I just want to see. 7, 8, I wonder too, oh, This is something to think about too, actually. Now that it's crossing my mind, now that I'm thinking about him more as an option than as like a competition, you know? Like, what if everyone else has a problem, you know, like, Yuri's really shy, this one. Sayori has her depression, Natsuki seems, I mean, she seems insecure. It's kind of, I mean, just not the same as like Yuri. More like tsundere, insecure kind of thing. I guess Monica, I don't know if she really has an issue so far. But I wonder if Evan has something. I hope I don't have to see him die. I don't want to, again, I don't want to see anyone die, but yeah. Okay, 18. This one. And 20. Alright, there we go. I think I got mostly him. We'll see. The next day, I waited for Sayori at the corner, and soon the two of us were walking to school together. She told me that Monica had finally texted her back later that evening, and that she said she was feeling a little better. Monica wouldn't elaborate any further, insisting that it was just anxiety. I feel like neither of us fully believe her, but we don't have much of a choice. Hopefully, Monica knows we'll be there for her if she needs it. Upon arriving at school, Sayori and I bid each other farewell and head to our classes for the day. After another boring day of classes, I make my way to the clubroom. Out in the hallway, I can already hear laughter coming from inside. What's going on? Inside, I see everyone but Monica. And then she said, I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying. Alright! The girls burst into a chorus of laughs and giggles. Well, looks like Evan's doing pretty well for himself after all. Okay, maybe a little bit of both, yeah. ¿Por qué no los dos? He glances toward the door, and that's when he seems to notice me. Hey, Riz, good to see you. I was just telling the girls about a movie I watched last night. Well, watched again. Well, go on, Evan. What happens next? Yeah, Evan, what next? Evan laughs, shaking his head. I've got a better idea. Maybe tomorrow evening we could all get together outside of school. I don't really think my place would work, but I can bring the movie wherever. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Oh my gosh, yes! A club field trip. It'll be like our first big activity. I agree. I think it could be a lot of fun. Awesome. I'll let you handle that with Monica, Sayori. By the way, is she coming today? Hopefully she's alright. She did seem a little off. She should be. I think she's just running late. She practices piano a little long sometimes. I think I'll go check, actually. I'll be back soon. With that, Sayori scurries out of the club room. Got a ship. Leg's starting to hurt. Well, Evan, do you want to read more manga with me? Or, if you'd prefer, maybe you and I could read something. I'm here too. I'd love to do both, girls. But I haven't really had time to get to know Riz yet. So hopefully you won't mind if I steal him away for a little while. Fine, you two hang out first. I'll be in the closet. Why don't you ask Yuri to do it with you? Natsuki and Yuri both pause. He doesn't really know about them yet, I guess. Yuri doesn't like manga. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's not that I don't like manga, I just haven't really read any. Or it's not that I don't like manga, it's just I haven't really read any. There we go, I think that sounds better. Well, Yuri, if you're open to it, I know the perfect person to introduce you. How about it, Natsuki? Think you could handle that? Natsuki hesitates, fidgeting slightly where she stands. Would you be open to that, Yuri? Yuri takes a deep breath, a small smile crossing her lips as she exhales. If you'd be patient with me, and if you'd agree to let me show you some novels I think you might like sometime, then I would at least be willing to try. Oh, that's good. Well, I guess that isn't too bad. Alright, Yuri, you have a deal. Man, you girls are awesome. Just listen to that. You two go have fun. I'll catch you later. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna lie. That wasn't how I had expected things to go, right? Okay. Wow, Evan, you handled that surprisingly well. Aw, shucks. It was nothing. Now, how about we hang out, eh? I've got my MP3 player in my backpack. Was thinking maybe we could just kick back and listen for a bit. Question mark? You know what? This sounds nice. Awesome. Come on then. Okay, cool. I think that I did successfully do his poem, yeah. Evan turns and leads the way over to a desk against the wall, beneath which sits his backpack. He grabs his backpack and sets it on top of the desk, then starts to swivel the desk around. Once it's facing away from the wall, he turns another desk, shifting them to be snugly side by side. He takes a seat and flashes me a smile before starting to dig through his bag. By the time I sat down, he had pulled out his MP3 player and a pair of headphones. Here, this work? Look at that, yup, I did it! He turns one of the ear cups until it faces me. Oh, wait, can mine do that? Okay, no, mine can't do that. I have had some that could, though, before. I just couldn't remember with this. Or ones that, like, they'll flip. Not turn, but flip, you know what I mean? Anyway, he turns one of the ear cups until it faces me. Scooting closer, I lean over toward him until my ear rests against the padding. It was a bit of a stretch, but he seemed to notice pretty soon, scooting closer and leaning to the side to better accommodate me. Sorry, I know it's not the perfect setup. Would probably be easier with earbuds. I chuckle a little, shaking my head, even though that's true, just slightly so as not to disturb the headphones. Nah, don't worry about it. This is fine. Maybe it's just the sun shining in through the window, but Evan's warm. It's actually kind of relaxing. Oh, I see. With a little smile, Evan presses the play button. Oh, cool, yeah, transition. Fair warning, it's on shuffle. I chuckle, casting a glance at him. What, you already afraid I'm not gonna like what I hear? Evan softly smirks, his eyes still closed. You never know. It was kinda hard to blame the girls for liking him. He was cute. ... Evan's cute. Hey, there's a realization sinking in. Evan has a pretty wide selection from the sounds of things. Now and then, I sneak glances at the small screen in front of him. Running Knot, Toy Chest, Adventure, even songs from that one cartoon, Our Tiny Pony. Are those supposed to be like plays on other, like, on groups then? Cool, fair enough. I smirk a little. Guess he's an OTP fan. More power to him. Hey, Riz. I blink, quickly lifting my gaze, meeting his. Not to make it weird, but this is nice. Thanks for hanging out with me. I teasingly scoff. Well, it wasn't weird till you brought it up. Way to go. Evan laughs. Glad to know I've still got it. Glad he took that well. I smirk, closing because that could have made it really awkward. I smirk, closing my eyes again, resting still against Evan. After another few songs, a familiar call sounds out, catching our attention. Okay, everyone, it's Monica. There we go, all right. Monica's standing at the center of attention, looking much better than she did the last time I saw her. I hope you're all ready with today's poems because we're going to start reading them soon. But first, I wanted to address something. Though smiling still, Monica takes a calming breath. As you might have noticed, I went home early yesterday. I had a bit of an anxiety attack, but I'm feeling better now. So, thank you for your understanding. She pauses, taking another breath, then looks at Evan. I'd also like to apologize, Evan, for not properly welcoming you yesterday. It was just bad timing. I hope there are no hard feelings. No, not at all. I totally understand. If you're good, I'm good. Wonderful. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, definitely. Okay then, everyone. If there's nothing else, let's start sharing poems. Well, here we go. I need a drink first, hold on. Yep. Increase the list. Evan is now a part of it. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense for them to add someone partway through. If they are going to actually have the festival happen. Considering that's kind of what the festival was about, right? Like, getting people to notice the club and, you know, want to join it and everything. Kind of curious as to why he had to ask if this was the room for the literature club, because like didn't the festival take place in whatever room the club normally takes place in? I mean, I guess maybe. So like I think the literature club did because Monica was putting the pamphlets on the desks, but maybe the other clubs didn't. Or maybe he was being coy. Maybe he knew this. I don't know. Why would he ask that question? Anyway, who should I show my poem to first? I guess I'll just go in the same order I have been. So we'll go Monica, Natsuki, Sayori. Monica, Natsuki, Yuri, Sayori, and then Evan. We'll just tack him on at the end. So, Monica. I should start with Monica. Is she still feeling a little uneasy from yesterday? Maybe it'd help to talk to me first. Or talk to me first. Besides, I'm curious to read her poem. I didn't expect her to have one prepared today. I mean, honestly, yeah, kinda. Hey, Riz. Hey, Monica. I'm glad you're feeling better today. We were worried about you. Evan, too, for that matter. Really? I'm sorry. Oh, I clicked a little fast. I'm sorry, Riz. I certainly didn't mean to make you all worry. But I am glad to know you all care. Yeah, of course we do. You're not just the club president, you know. You're our friend. Aww. You're really sweet, Riz. Thank you. You're welcome, Monica. We're always here for you if you need us. Now then, how about I read your poem, Riz? Oh, yeah, of course. I hand Monica my poem. She quietly reads it to herself, then goes through it once more. I like it, Riz. You always like it! It kinda reminds me of Natsuki's work. Or maybe Sayori's? A mix of the two kind of thing, yeah. Or maybe you're just settling even more into your own style. Or that. And that's a good thing, right? Yes, absolutely. Finding your own style is a wonderful thing. It's never bad to experiment with other styles, but developing your own can be very exciting. And quite fulfilling, too. Actually, while on that subject... She pauses, turning and picking up her own poem from atop the desk. I experimented a bit with style myself. Here, let me know what you think of it. What does it mean? What does it mean to be alive when the life you live is shallow? When you're cast in a hole, cast in a role, and cast in somebody's shadow. Yeah, oh yeah! Just, her style already did change. Like, usually she does a lot of free verse, but there's actually, like, rhyme in this one. Let me restart then, so I can read that better. What does it mean? What does it mean to be alive when the life you live is shallow? When you're cast in a hole, cast in a role, and cast in somebody's shadow? What does it mean to not be alone when all your company's hollow? When they've left undisturbed, while you're left perturbed, left alone if you chose not to follow? When you're not alone but lonely, when you're scared with nowhere to hide? No colors, black and white only, living but dead inside, ooh. But then, what does it mean to be trapped in a hole and have someone drop down to greet you? Shovel in hand, the hole they expand, a whole new world left to meet you. Aww, so I think that's positive in the end. Yeah. Alright, one more time and then we'll analyze it, I guess. What does it mean? What does it mean to be alive when the life you live is shallow? When you're cast in a hole, cast in a role, and cast in somebody's shadow? What does it mean to be alone? What does it mean to not be alone when all your company's hollow? When they've left undisturbed, you're left perturbed, left alone if you chose not to follow. When you're not alone but lonely, when you're scared with nowhere to hide, no colors, black and white only, living but dead inside. But then, what does it mean to be trapped in a hole and have someone drop down to greet you? Shovel in hand, the hole they expand, a whole new world left to meet you. Okay. Well, like I said, I think it's a positive thing, so if we're just... I mean, she definitely freaked out yesterday about something. And today she obviously seems better, and she wrote this poem between that, those two moments, so I assume that this was kind of her coming to terms with things, or her after she came to terms with things. So, what does it mean to be alive when the life you live is shallow? I mean, I guess she didn't feel too happy with her life, I guess. Maybe she felt there wasn't much of a point. When you're cast in a hole, cast in a role, and cast in somebody's shadow. So that could be like cast in a hole and cast in a role. Actually, like both of them in different ways could imply like a sort of feeling of being trapped, I suppose. I mean, obviously trapped in a hole. But then if you're cast in a role, like when actors are typecast, you know, I feel like I've heard some things, you know, where some of them have said that they feel like they've lost a lot of freedom. You know, they've been typecast so many times that that's kind of just what's expected of them, I suppose, and they are not as free to branch out and further express themselves. I feel like that happens to a lot of comedy actors, especially. Anyway, yeah, so that could be like that. And cast in somebody's shadow. You know, living in someone's shadow. You know, having to meet certain expectations, maybe? That kind of thing? Or maybe just always kind of being behind everyone else, you know? Like they're moving ahead, but you're stuck in their shadow kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess that kind of works with the expectations. What does it mean to not be alone when all your company's hollow? Okay, so you're with people, but are they really there? Or maybe their lives aren't that fulfilling either. Maybe their lives are kind of shallow like hers. And so, but is she referring to the group? That's kind of sad. When they've left undisturbed, while you're left perturbed, left alone if you chose not to follow. So, I mean, that kind of, I guess, could go back to the shadow thing about following after them, but being stuck in their shadow kind of thing. Where, like, they're the main stars, I guess. But they're left undisturbed, and Monika is disturbed, basically. Okay, fair enough. When you're not alone, but lonely, that makes sense enough. When you're scared with nowhere to hide, no colors, black and white only, living but dead inside. I think the last two sentences in that stanza are the most connected. With no colors, black and white only. Just like anything, yeah, like that can come with, I think, like depression and stuff, you know, where everything just kind of seems to lose its meaning or inherent value sort of stuff. Everything just, it becomes gray, you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, but then, you have the hopeful turn. What does it mean to be trapped in a hole? Oh yeah, see, trapped, yeah. To be trapped in a hole and have someone drop down to greet you. Shovel in hand, the hole they expand, a whole new world left to meet you. So that could be a reference to Evan. He hasn't really spoken to her, though, so it's weird that he would be expanding her world. But, I mean, no one else is, like, dropped down, really. Like, unless she means me, because I'm playing the game now. And, I mean, and she has, like, broken some fourth wall stuff before, as we've seen, so I guess that could be it, too. So either Evan or me for that. And there's no scroll. Okay. Click.
Well, what do you think? I know it's different. I tried to take a more structured approach with this poem, using a rhyme scheme and repetition of certain words.
I can tell. It's definitely different from the poems you've shown me before, but I like it. I think it still feels like you.
Thank you, Riz.
So, Monika, if poems are often used to express one's thoughts and emotions, is this how you've been feeling lately? Trapped? He's catching on. Monika lets out a slow breath.
Please don't tell anyone, Riz. But yes,
the last little while, has been difficult for me.
Ever since I had a certain epiphany.
An epiphany? She weakly smiles and nods.
I'd been trying to come to terms with the things I'd realized, but yesterday, everything changed again.
I wait a few seconds for her to continue, but when she doesn't, I let out a slow breath of my own. I glance again at her poem. Maybe I misinterpreted it, but the poem sounded like it took a hopeful turn. Though she still seems uncertain, a small smile returns to her face.
It was meant to, yes. I think these changes are good, Riz. They just caught me by surprise. And if the rules are changing, it's just hard to know what to expect from the future. And that's scary.
Rules? What rules? I think it is fourth wall stuff, yeah. She takes in another deep breath, lightly shaking her head as she exhales.
Don't worry about it, Riz. It's complicated. But I'll be alright. That's a promise. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Eventually, you'll reach a point where you're just not sure what to do or what's going to happen next. Everyone does. It can help to take a step back, look at everything from a different angle, and just breathe. Find the silver lining. See what you have to work with.
and then start pressing forward again. Most importantly, if it's important to you, don't give up. Okay, Riz? That was sweet, yeah. I feel like she's kind of talking to herself, though. I mean, she was just talking about how the future, she's not sure what's going to happen, and that she's scared by it. And so, you know, just the whole, like, take a deep breath and keep pushing forward thing. Either way, though, I like that. I think that's good advice. And, I mean, it applies to writing, too. I just think it was deeper than that. Monica takes another deep breath, slowly exhaling once more. Thank you for listening, Riz. Thank you for being here. I needed it. I blink a couple times. Frankly, I'm not sure what I did. She was the one offering all the encouragement. I thought she was helping me. But maybe she just needed to hear it out loud for herself. Whatever the reason, I softly smile. You're welcome, Monica. I'm glad I was able to help. Hang in there, alright? We're all here for you. I know you are. You're all wonderful friends. Now, go on. I'm sure someone's waiting to swap poems again. With one last smile, she takes her poem and turns away, starting toward the others. I guess I should find someone else now, too. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, I think, like I said, I'll just go with the same poem I had, so... Natsuki. ... Natsuki sets my poem down. Good job, Riz. I think this one's better than your last. Oh, thank you. Or I think this one's better than your last. Oh, thanks, Natsuki. Natsuki furrows her brow. What do you mean, thanks? I'm just surprised you actually complimented me. Usually you sort of skirt around it. Oh, do I? Sorry, I guess. It's fine. Are you in a good mood, Natsuki? She thinks about it for a second. Actually, yeah, I guess I am. I chuckle, nodding. Well, that's good to hear. I take it things went well with Yuri? They did. We just stayed in the closet reading manga till Monica called us all together. You stayed in the closet? I chuckle a little, cocking an eyebrow. Why? Wasn't it hard to read in there? Psst. No, we kept the doors open so there'd be light. Obviously. And I don't know. The manga was easy to access there. We sat down and got comfortable. Why does it matter? I weakly chuckle. It doesn't. Sorry. As long as you two are comfortable. Think you two are gonna start hanging out more often? Natsuki hesitates. I hope so. Look, don't tell anyone, but Yuri's really cool. She's so smart and pretty and... Oh, snap! Natsuki cringes, freezing in place for a few seconds. Never mind, just here. Poor Natsuki. Alright, well that's fun. Sometimes I wish. Sometimes a dog might gaze at the woods and think, I wish I were independent. I wish I were a wolf. Sometimes a wolf might gaze at the moon and think, I wish I could be stronger. I wish that I could change. Sometimes a werewolf might gaze at a hut and think, I wish I could be normal. I wish... Blood! Meat! Sometimes a girl might gaze at a page and think, I wish I could be better. I wish I could be praised. But at least she's not a werewolf. Fair enough. I mean, okay, one more time real quick. So, sometimes I wish. Sometimes a dog might gaze at the woods and think, I wish I were independent. I wish I were a wolf. Sometimes a wolf might gaze at the moon and think, I wish I could be stronger. I wish that I could change. Sometimes a werewolf might gaze at a hut and think, I wish I could be normal. I wish blood, meat. Sometimes a girl might gaze at a page and think, I wish I could be better. I wish I could be praised. But at least she's not a werewolf. So yeah, I think in this that Natsuki is the girl that's referenced at the end, you know? And it's the thing, you know, of people or creatures or whatever always kind of wishing to be something more, to be something better, or I guess more ordinary maybe. Or at least something that's perceived as better or more ordinary, you know? And then, you know, she straight up says, sometimes a girl might gaze at a page and think, I wish I could be better. I wish I could be praised. So, I don't think that one's too subtle. I mean, unless I'm missing, like, some deeper meaning, but that's what it seems to me. So, we'll click. dot, dot, dot. Well, I hope everything works out for her. Oh, poor Natsuki. I'll just set her poem on the desk, I guess. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, convenient timing, let's talk to Yuri. After reading my poem, Yuri gives a little nod, smiling as she hands it back to me.
At this point, Riz, I want to ask you something. Are you feeling more confident in your writing?
Well, it's kind of a difficult question. I don't think I've quite found the perfect style for me, but I know that I'm learning the more I dabble. I guess, short answer, yeah, I think I am getting more confident. I might not be great, but I think I'm getting better, and I'm enjoying it more.
That's wonderful, Riz. As long as you're enjoying the experience, that's all you need. I'll admit that your style is cuter than I'd like, and not as deep as I'd prefer. But I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself. I really am.
Well, I suppose I already knew it wasn't her style. I guess I'm not surprised. A little disappointed, but not surprised. Thanks for being honest with me, Yuri. Though I'm still trying to find my style, I think. So, maybe if I ever consider trying something deeper, you could give me some advice? Yuri seems surprised at first, but smiles, softly blushing.
I'd be happy to.
Thanks, Yuri. In the meantime, how about I read your poem? Her smile grows a little and she nods, taking her poem and handing it over to me. Oh, it's always so hard to read. Leaning in a little. Passion. He used to be able to fit snugly into my hand, and everyone thought he was adorable. Back then, he didn't walk so much as wobble. Well, I said wobble dong at first. So much as wobble along, and he would always hurry toward me, tongue flapping. When he was little like that, he could curl up in his kennel and tug he would curl up in his kennel and tug cutely along at his leash. He could sit in laps and lick faces, and no one would mind. But now he isn't so little. He's too big for his kennel, and he would drag me around by the leash if I ever used one. Even when I tell him, sit and stay, he follows me everywhere, growling and barking at family. Oh, the scroll's not working. Oh! Okay, look, you could just click. Oh, you see how it extends? That's not scroll bar. Yeah, you can see another page extends past the first one. Okay, a little inconsistent, but fair enough. So, growling and barking at family, at friends, at strangers. I try to smile, but they see only his bared teeth. Hear only the barking and growling of what's too big now to sit in my lap, to fit snugly into my hand. Alright. Starting over now, hopefully a little faster. Passion. He used to be able to fit snugly into my hand, and everyone thought he was adorable. Back then, he didn't walk so much as wobble along, and he would always hurry toward me, tongue flapping. When he was little like that, he would curl up in his kennel and tug cutely along at his leash. He could sit in laps and lick faces, and no one would mind. But now he isn't so little. He's too big for his kennel, and he would drag me around by the leash if I ever used one. Even when I tell him sit and stay, he follows me everywhere, growling and barking, at family, at friends, at strangers. I try to smile, but they see only his bared teeth, hear only the barking and the growling of what's too big now to sit in my lap, to fit snugly into my hand. Okay. If it weren't titled Passion, I'm not sure that I would understand it really. Because it all just sounds like it's about a dog. But because it's called, I like to think I could figure out more than that. Like that it did stand for something, much like how the raccoon stood for something. So, yeah, Passion. I guess it's just a thing where it's like, when your passion is small, or maybe when she's small, but it says he used to be able to fit snugly into my hands. I'm gonna say when your passion is small, it can be, you've talked to people with passion, you know, someone who's passionate about something, and it's attractive in a way, you know? And so I assume that's what she's referring to, and maybe she experienced that in the past. But then I guess she feels she got too passionate, where now people are kind of, I guess, afraid to be around her or to interact with her. Like, you know, I try to smile, but they see only his bared teeth, I think is what it said. Try to smile, but they see only his bare teeth, yeah. Hear only the barking and growling of what's too big now to sit in my lap to fit something in my hand. I think that's what this is about, yeah. Where it's really just like, I think this is a personal experience kind of thing. Yuri, at first, her passion was kind of containable, I suppose, and people thought it was rather cute. But then, at least in her eyes, she became too passionate to the point where it was weirding people out and made them stop talking to her. And so she, like, really dialed it back, I guess. Because it sounds like she's not happy with it either, you know? It sounds like, you know, even when I tell it sit and stay kind of thing. Alright, I think that's all I'm getting from it. So, next one. So, you have a dog? Oh, you idiot. I mean, I guess if you're not used to... Never mind, that's not fair to say. If you're not used to poems. Whatever. Yuri softly sighs, her gaze trailing to the side.
No, Riz, it's...
She stops when I start to chuckle. I'm kidding, Yuri, I'm kidding. It's a metaphor, right? For your passion. Okay, he did get it, yeah. Alright, well, at least he got the same thing I did. So I feel more confident in that answer now.
Yes! I mean, yes, it is. I'm glad you were able to pick up on it.
I softly sigh, offering her a small smile in apology. Yuri, I really don't think you should be ashamed of your passions.
But it scares people away.
Some people, sure. But those are the wrong people to begin with. Maybe you haven't opened up entirely to me, but the passion I've seen from you so far, Yuri, it's been really attractive. Yeah, see? I personally think that too. Like, passion's cool. Of course, there are limits, but yeah. Here, let me clarify. When you've shown me your passion about a subject, yes, it was cute. Or when you've shown me, yeah. But beyond that, you also seemed a lot more confident during those moments. Like you'd been waiting a long time for the chance to express yourself. Yes, it's good to know when to hold back. You don't want to go all in right when you've met someone. You test the waters, see if they might be amenable? Is that right? Yuri pauses.
Sorta. Amenable is more about being open to suggestion, persuasion. I think it would be more appropriate to use receptive in that context. In regards to being willing or able to receive certain stimuli. So you would suggest, Riz, that I test the waters to see whether someone might be receptive.
Exactly. Yuri pauses for a few seconds, then begins to blush. I just like that face change.
I see what you did there. I suppose maybe it wouldn't hurt to open up more to all of you at least.
Awesome. And if I could make another suggestion, Yuri.
Oh, of course.
I think Natsuki would like to be able to express herself more too. Look at me, wingman in here. Maybe you could explore your passions together.
I think that would be nice. Thank you, Riz.
Anytime, Yuri. I'll talk to you later. Yuri nods. Okay, well, there we go. There's Yuri. We'll just leave Evan for last, so Sayori, go. Dot, dot, dot.
I like it. Your last poem is still my favorite, but this one's good too.
I chuckle a little, nodding. Well, can't blame me for branching out a little, can you?
Nope. I've been trying to test out different things too. Monica encourages it.
I nod, then pause as something occurs to me. Hey, Sayori, I never did ask, but the poem you submitted for the festival, well, I'm bringing that up. Sayori looks away for a moment, slowly nodding.
I wasn't in a good place that night. It was after I sent that to Monica that she really knew something was wrong. I just had so many conflicting thoughts and feelings that I just had no idea how to handle on my own. So many thoughts and feelings that she had no idea how to handle. Okay, gotcha. Sayori weakly laughs. It wasn't my best moment, I know. But I'm much better now. Of course, I still get sad sometimes. I always will. But I'll learn how to handle it better. I actually,
She pauses, then hands me her poem.
Here, Riz. Read this.
I'm gonna get some insight, alright. Oh, it's a small too. Bottles, again, okay. Bottles. The room is dark and the house is quiet. I groan and lift my head from the cold comfort of my pillow, looking out over the floor. It's littered with bits and baubles, warm tinglies glowing against shards of broken glass. I feel numb, but my bed isn't warming me anymore. I groan again at the I gaze again at the warm, neglected tingles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. I push myself up and down to the floor. The glass cuts deep. I hear them at the door. I grit through the pain and pick up my dreams. My friends tell me life isn't as bad as it seems. Bit by bit, more tinglies. Or is that just tingles? I'm gonna say tinglies. Bit by bit, more tinglies. Moment after moment, more knocks. Deeper and deeper the shards go. But I can't let them win, as much as it hurts, as much as the glass wants my dreams for themselves. Screeching and crying, but I'll keep fighting. I wipe my bloodied palms on my pants. My friends would all help if I gave them the chance, but if I let them in, the glass might cut them too. Is that worth the risk? Is that what a friend would do? Click. Finally, all done, I stand up and glance at my friends. There they are, at the window. Do they want my baubles that much? No, not for themselves. I know that now. They don't want to take my tinglies away. They want to share them. Or they want to share them with me, with each other, with everyone they can. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, cradled in my arms. They were supposed to be for my friends, but I was wrong. They're all cooing, pleading, something. But all I hear are their muffled voices through the window. I'll let them in soon. I just need to pick up the pieces. Okay, so that, like Monica's, that has a hopeful thing. I mean, there are a few hopeful things throughout this poem. I think overall it's a good one. So let's read through it again real quick. Oh wait, hold on. No, actually, that's not bottles. That's battles. You know what? Credit where credit's due. Alright, so battles. The room is dark and the house is quiet. I groan and lift my head from the cold comfort of my pillow, looking out over the floor. It's littered with bits and baubles, warm tinglies glowing against shards of broken glass. I feel numb, but my bed isn't warming me anymore. I gaze again at the warm, neglected tinglies. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. I push myself up and down to the floor. The glass cuts deep. I hear them at the door. I grit through the pain and pick up my dreams. My friends tell me life isn't as bad as it seems. Bit by bit, more tinglies. Moment after moment, more knocks. Deeper and deeper the shards go. But I can't let them win, as much as it hurts, as much as the glass wants my dreams for themselves, screeching and crying. But I'll keep fighting. I wipe my bloodied palms on my pants. My friends would all help if I gave them the chance. But if I let them in, the glass might cut them too. Is that worth the risk? Is that what a friend would do? Finally, all done. I stand up and glance at my friends. There they are at the window. Do they want my baubles that much? No, not for themselves. I know that now. They don't want to take my tinglies away. They want to share them. With me, with each other, with everyone they can. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, cradled in my arms. They were supposed to be for my friends, but I was wrong. They're all cooing, pleading, something. But all I hear are their muffled voices through the window. I'll let them in soon. I just need to pick up the pieces. So this is obviously a continuation of Bottles. I think it's clever how the name of the poem is Battles instead, because, you know, that's what this is. These are battles now that Saori's having to take, but she is taking them, as we can see from this, you know? She doesn't just stay in bed. Like, despite the pain, she's picking up her dreams again. She's, you know, picking up the pieces. Oh, I think she's picking up her dreams, and then she's gonna let them in. She just needs to pick up the pieces. I think she's gonna take care of the glass a little bit more first, you know? Like, she doesn't want to let too many people into her life right now, maybe, because she knows that it's a little bit tumultuous. Or, I think that's how you say it. I think I'm using that right. But she'll let us in soon, is what I'm gathering. I mean, that's what that says over here, so, yeah. I like that.
So, I know it isn't exactly happy, but I hope you can see what I'm getting at. There's still a lot I need to work on, like just being more open to help from my friends, like you, but just one thing at a time. I'm sorry. Thanks for listening, Riz. I'm gonna go get a drink. My throat's all tight.
With a quiet breath, I step forward and wrap my arms around Saori. She stiffens for a moment, then relaxes, wrapping her arms around me in return. if you ever need to talk, if you ever need to just be with someone, I'm always here for you, Sayori. She squeezes me a little more tightly.
Thanks, Riz. I'll be fine. I promise.
Sayori starts to pull back, and I let go, letting her step away.
Be back in a few minutes.
She offers me one more smile before turning, walking quietly out of the club room. Alright. I watch the door for a few more seconds. Although I hate to see Sayori hurting, I'm proud of her. She's fighting so hard. And honestly, pride aside, I admire her for that. That's good. Main character's becoming less of a dick. I like that. Who should I show my poem to next? Oh, I don't know. What options do I have? I'll go with Evan. Evan's brow perks. Whoa, Riz! This poem, it really speaks to me, man. I can't help but laugh from his enthusiasm. What, really? Yeah, for real. This is pretty close to the sort of poetry I like. I mean, I can enjoy other poetry, sure. But this is more or less my preference, you know? Well, awesome. I'm really glad you like it. Think I could read yours now? Oh yeah, sure thing. He seems to have misplaced his poem at first, but finds it soon enough, holding it out to me afterward. Alright. The dynamic duo weren't always let me just read that straight through, so, yeah. Alright, cool. The dynamic duo weren't always together. The man dressed as Bat, the boy is one-feathered, but both witnessed death at an age early on. With the act of a criminal, their parents were gone. This is just Batman. This is absolutely just Batman. Yeah, Bruce witnessed the scene. He saw the birds fall. And the young Grayson boy, left with no one at all, was sent off to live life in juvenile care, left to question how one's life could be so unfair. But Bruce wouldn't have it. He couldn't let it pass. He saw the young Grayson and admired I'm sorry. As I was reading that, my mind jumped to something else for a moment. Where is it? But Bruce wouldn't have it. He couldn't let it pass. He saw the young Grayson and admired his will and his strength to go on, even when all went south. So he took the young Dick into the warmth of his home. Okay, I see where this is going. Let me start over. I think I get it better now. Okay. The dynamic duo weren't always together. The man dressed as Bat, the boy is one-feathered, but both witnessed death at an age early on. With the act of a criminal, their parents were gone. Bruce witnessed the scene. He saw the birds fall, and the young Grayson boy, left with no one at all, was sent off to live life in juvenile care, left to question how one's life could be so unfair. But Bruce wouldn't have it. He couldn't let it pass. He saw the young Grayson and admired his will and his strength to go on even when all went south. So he took the young Dick into the warmth of his home. Before long, their bond grew, and Bruce gave him a chance. Took Grayson to the Batcave and took off his mask to show the young boy. It must have been quite a shock. But Dick gave him a grin and rode Batman's mobile as Robin, Boy Wonder, at Bat's beck and call. And that, in fact, while wearing nothing but tights, with hands balled as fists, he could strike a crook dumb. So good at what he did that he made Batman offer his respect to the hero. Crime was out of luck. They went back to the Batcave for a well-deserved rest. Yeah, I like that poem. I don't need to do it one more time, but I mean, I don't think there's any. Is there any? Okay, we'll do it one more time to see if there's anything else to gather from it. But I don't think there is. I think it's just a joke. The dynamic duo weren't always together. The man dressed as Bat, the boy is one-feathered, but both witnessed death at an age early on. With the act of a criminal, their parents were gone. Bruce witnessed the scene. He saw the birds fall, and the young Grayson boy, left with no one at all, was sent off to live life in juvenile care, left to question how one's life could be so unfair. But Bruce wouldn't have it. He couldn't let it pass. He saw the young Grayson and admired his will and his strength to go on even when all went south. So he took the young Dick into the warmth of his home. Before long, their bond grew, and Bruce gave him a chance. Took Grayson into the Batcave and took off his mask to show the young boy. It must have been quite a shock. But Dick gave him a grin and rode Batman's mobile as Robin, Boy Wonder, at Bat's beck and call. And that, in fact, while wearing nothing but tights. With hands balled as fists, he could strike a crook dumb. So good at what he did that he made Batman offer his respect to the hero. Crime was out of luck. They went back to the Batcave for a well-deserved rest. I was so afraid I was gonna say the wrong thing during that. I hope I didn't. I don't think I did. I think I read it correctly, but I like that. Yeah, I really don't think there's anything else to it. It's just kind of like, I mean, if we're looking at the meaning, like the literal meaning of the poem is just kind of how Batman met Dick Grayson, you know, one of the Robins, right? Isn't that what happened with Dick's parents? You know, like, weren't they all like acrobats or whatever, and then they died, like they fell, because criminals and stuff? But that's all it really is. Aside from that, it's just, hey, do you have a dirty mind? All right, we're gonna move on then. So, what do you think? I think I saw a grin or two, right? I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to get it. But once I did, I laughed, grinning and shaking my head. Yeah, it was really good. Evan exhales a victorious yes and treats himself to a fist bump, which he seems to immediately regret. Good, awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Like, for real though, I was super nervous going into this. Like, I've written poems before, but just for fun, you know? Or as assignments or whatever. Never for, like, friends to read and judge. Anyway, point is, I'm glad you liked it. Oh, hey! I don't remember. Were you interested in the movie night tomorrow? I mean, I think people were still planning on it. Should probably ask. But yeah, was that something you maybe wanted to do? I laugh and roll my eyes, letting out a sigh. Yeah, definitely. Do you know where yet? Nah, but I think Sayori and Monica are gonna talk about it. Sweet. How about I give you my number and you text me once you know? Sounds like a plan to me. Alright. Cool. We pull out our phones and I give Evan my number. Soon enough, I receive a text in the form of, got it. Satisfied, I slip my phone back into my pocket and he follows suit. With that, we exchange one more smile and nod before taking our poems and going our separate ways. Cool. Today's been quite the ride, but I think it turned out alright. I glance around the room. Sayori has returned, chatting with Monica across the room. She seems to be doing much better. In fact, they both do. Yuri and Natsuki are in the closet, I think sorting through manga. Well, Natsuki is, but Yuri at least seems somewhat involved. Evan, lastly, has his headphones around his neck, looking down at his MP3 player. Looks like the day's about over. Alright. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. I hope you all felt good about sharing poems today. I thought that they were very insightful, and I'm glad I have the chance to get to know each of you better. Of course, feel free to keep writing poetry in your spare time, but we won't be having our usual club meeting tomorrow. That's right. Evan suggested we'd watch a movie together, so we'll all be meeting up at my house. Oh, we're going to Monica's house. Cool, okay. I'll send a text out as a reminder, but try not to forget. Get your work done ahead of time so your evening is free. And thank you again for the suggestion, Evan, or for the idea, Evan. Of course, happy to be of service. Alright then, I think that's it. Everyone stay safe and well, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I start getting my backpack ready when I feel a tap on my shoulder. Riz? I look back to see Sayori. She's smiling, but fidgeting slightly. I turn around to face her, slinging my backpack over my shoulder. What's up? Would you mind if I, walked home with Monica today? It's nothing against you, it's just... You want to make sure she's alright? She smiles a little more confidently, nodding. As long as that's okay. I don't want to make you feel bad. I lightly shake my head. Go ahead, Sayori. She happily nods and turns to leave, but I can't help myself. So, about that movie. This mean you're excited for your second date with Monica? Such a tease. Sayori gasps. Maybe. This time, she doesn't wait for a response, turning on her heel and walking over to join Monica again. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I blink in surprise, but ultimately just scoff, smirking as I glance again around the room. So I think that's what it was. I think the point where I left... I mean, maybe it was when I wrote the poem for Evan instead. But I think at the point I left Sayori's route, she was designated instead to, like, be Monica. It sounds like she's being Monica's, love interest. So I think that's really cool. I think it's surprised, but ultimately, scoff. Smirk it. Yeah, okay. If I didn't know any better. I hope everything works out for her. You know, I do too. They deserve that. They deserve to be happy, you know? The next day, we all go through our usual routines. I meet Sayori at the corner, and together we walk to school. School was more boring that day than usual that day. Or maybe I was just looking forward to the club activity. Either way, it seemed to drag on forever. Just minutes after class was dismissed, I received a text from Monika. It was a reminder to not go to the club room today. She provided her address and the time we should all meet together, and I texted back a quick, okay. As you do. Good to acknowledge. Hours later, I arrive at the address. Well, there you go. There's Monika's house. Cool. Walking up to the door, I lightly knock. Half a minute passes, then the door opens.
Riz, you're the first one here. Glad you could make it. Come on in.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Monika and I step inside to wait for the others. It's a pretty big house from the looks of things, though largely unfurnished. After a bit of idle chatter, we hear another knock. Hey, and there it is! Alright,
I'll get it.
Monika turns with a little twirl of her skirt, softly humming to herself as she approaches the door.
Monika!
I smirk a little as I idly listen in. It sounds like Natsuki's with her too. They talk for half a minute more before stepping in to join me. Hey girls! Good to see you! Aw, they look cute! Them.
Good to see you too, Riz.
Oof, they all look adorable together. Oh, and look, actually look, they're even like coupled up. That's so adorable. Ah, I like that. Now that I'm seeing the other three though, something occurs to me. Hey, Monika, why are you still in your uniform? Ah, that's a good point.
Oh, well, I forgot to do laundry. Ha! Silly me.
Sayori giggles.
You are silly, Monika. The silliest. So, when are we gonna start the movie?
Just as soon as Evan arrives. From there, we all continue to talk until we hear another knock at the door. Monika goes to answer it, and soon we're greeted by our sixth. Sorry I'm late, everyone. I like his outfit too. That's the kind of stuff I'd wear, actually, now that I think about it. Sorta got lost on the way here. I'm, not great with addresses. Or directions. No worries, Evan. I'm the same way sometimes. I can relate, yeah.
Did you remember to bring the movie?
Of course! He proudly holds up the case. Let's get this party started! Natsuki grins and snatches the case from Evan. Then grabs Yuri's hand and starts to drag her toward the couch. Look at that. Aw, they're cute.
Let's go sit down, Monika. I'll be there in just a minute. I just want to talk to Riz really quick. Oh, okay. I'll meet you there.
Guess I should leave you two be then, huh? I'll see you over there soon, Riz. Both of you. Oh, Evan. You're serious now. Is everything alright, Monika? She lets out a slow breath.
I just wanted to say thank you, Riz.
Oh? For what? She smiles and closes her eyes, softly shaking her head. When she opens her eyes again, it's like she's looking past me. He knows what I mean. I think she means me.
Thank you, Riz. For providing me with new life. For giving me new experiences. Even my own girlfriend. Aw, yay. I know I can't have everything the others do. But you've given me more than I could have hoped for. More than I thought was possible for me. So, I love you, Riz. Like a friend.
Monika offers me a sweet smile, gratitude in her eyes, then turns and walks away. I have no idea what that was all about. I do. I like that she breaks the fourth wall. It's cool. It's her own thing, you know. They've played it off well, I think. But if I was able to help her, I'm grateful for the opportunity myself. I hear the movie start, snapping me back to reality. You coming, Riz? Yeah, hurry up!
I told them to wait.
You haven't missed anything yet, don't worry.
I saved you a spot.
I take a deep breath, slowly letting it out, a warm smile on my face. All my friends are waiting for me. I walk over to the couch, and there everyone is, squished together by necessity. Evan's at one end, Natsuki beside him, then Yuri, Monika, and Sayori. They all smile upon seeing me, and Sayori pats the spot beside her. Stepping forward, I take a seat between Sayori and the arm of the couch. Once I'm there, everyone turns their attention to the movie. A few seconds pass, and I look out over the others again. Natsuki's leaning against Yuri, who's blushing furiously. Still, I can see a faint smile on her face. Sayori and Monika seem relatively casual. Though glancing down toward their laps, I see them holding hands. Aww. My smile softens, and I lean back slightly. To make a little more room, I lift my arm nearer Sayori and rest it along the back of the couch. My brow perks when I feel another hand, and I quickly look over, meeting Evan's gaze. Oh, he looks equally surprised. But after a moment, he blushes, a soft smile crossing his face. Neither of us shift our hands away. I hope everything works out for us. For all of us. Is that the end then? It is the end! Yay! Is anything else gonna happen? If I click. Nope, clicking it. Alright, well, that was the end then. Yeah. I don't know. I liked that. That was, okay, so that wasn't the direction that I thought that things were going. I mean, with all the warnings at the beginning of the game, with having seen Sayori hang herself, with like the hints that you would get from like Yuri's poems and everything. But I guess I made the right decisions or something. I don't know. I feel like honestly, it doesn't say like good end or best end or anything, but I feel like I got the best ending. I mean, think about it. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy here, you know? Like, Riz and Evan are apparently going to be a thing, and I think that's really cool, honestly. I thought that Evan seemed nice. Again, little happy puppy dog. And of course, it's good for the main character to fall in love and have that. But then you had Sayori and Monika, and you know, Monika was really helpful with Sayori when Sayori had her big moment of depression, you know? And like Sayori said, she's still gonna get sad. Like, that's not gonna go away. Like, that's not just a thing that's done for her. But Monika now is there to help her out, and Monika really seemed to appreciate it too, you know, because she talked to me at the end about that, and yeah, and then of course you have Natsuki and Yuri, and I think that those two are a really good couple too, because, you know, you have Natsuki who's worried about, like, she's worried about her hobbies with, like, manga and everything, and like I said, she and Yuri both seem insecure, though, in different ways. I think that, like, Riz, you know, main character Riz, suggested, if Yuri and Natsuki, like, you know, are able to express themselves to each other and to share in each other's passions, you know, I think that that'll be really good for them. And I think it'll be a good step for growth for them too. You know, where they can then branch out and not only be sharing with each other, but, you know, with whomever they meet after that. So, yeah. I don't know. It was shorter than I thought, honestly, this route. So I guess if you guys want to see me do any of the other routes in particular, honestly, I'm gonna feel bad if I get like a worse ending, but I am really glad I got this ending. But yeah, if you want to see me do any other routes, because I guess it won't take too long, let me know in the comments below. And on that note, let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. You know, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. But this has been Doki Doki Literature Club. I hope that you guys had a good time, and I don't know what I'll be playing next, but whatever it is, I hope that I'll enjoy it, and I hope that you guys will be there to enjoy it with me. So, thank you guys again so much for watching this. Hope that you have a good day, and yeah, with that, we're calling it here.